Today I'm going to show you how to run a net sheet for your sellers, and I'm going to show you how to do it in, quite frankly, less than a minute. We're going to do it right now with the Chicago Agent app. You can see on my screen right here, chicagoagent.com. You can download this app or reach out to me, Jerad Larkin with Chicago Title, and I'll get you access to it. This is completely free to use. To calculate net sheets, you can have it on your computer, your tablet. I personally like to do these on my smartphone, but I'm going to show you here on my computer how to use it right now for seller net sheets. So let's jump into it. So on my computer, I'm going to open up the app. Here it is. You can see on the app there's a couple of different tabs. There's the buyer tab when you're working with a buyer versus a seller. There's also additional calculators within here. So many great calculators that you can dive into. I'll talk about these in other videos, but today we're going to focus on net sheet. Right here on the net sheet tab, the first thing we want to do is we want to click on add address. It's not very intuitive, but you need to click here and type in an address for your property. So let's just pretend maybe it is this property right here. Go ahead and click on that. It's going to start pulling in the data on the property. This is going to save you time. So you can see here it pulled in the tax records. It pulled in the latest treasurer information, the property taxes for this property. We'll click next. Now we don't have to look this up. It's also showing here that a loan was recorded in March of 2021 at this amount of $572,000. So this is great if you're working with a seller or you're going into a listing presentation. You don't know if there's a payoff. You can estimate this out through using this app. It's going to pull the available public data. That way we can run an estimate. So based on this time frame, 2021, it says here the average interest rate was 2.94%. So we could just take a guess here. Maybe we'll just plug in 3% and estimate the payoff. Of course, always remember to tell the client this is an estimate. And now we'll estimate our loan balance. We can always update this later, but this just helps us get closer to our numbers. So you can see here we got our address. We can change the loan type. I usually just leave this unconventional depending on whether or not I know this information. And then let's just plug in our number. Let's go to 1.2 million. Next up, plug in your broker fees. You can do this in dollar amount or percent. Most of the time we do percent. If you want to break it down between buyer and seller, click this cogwheel button right here. You can differentiate these both individually, or if you just want to show it as one set amount, say it's 6%, and not split up the cost on the PDF, we'll just turn that off. Use that for this estimate. If you have any repairs, any miscellaneous costs, you can add that within here, right? You can plug this in on both sides, whether it's going to add or subtract from that net sheet number. Property taxes are done. You can see that plugged in from the treasurer data. We're done with that seller loan balance. That's an estimate. This interest rate is what we're basing it off of. Down here, we just push the closing date. Typically, it just pushes it out a month. Again, estimate. Lastly, if the person selling the home is refinanced or they basically purchased the home within the last 5 years, it's possible that they were issued title insurance. If this is the case, they will most likely qualify for what's known as a short-term rate, which is essentially just a discount on their title policy. If you do know that date that they refinanced or purchased, we can plug in that date here to have them qualify for that discount. If you don't, no big deal. Just click compute, move on to the next screen. It's now going to show us our data. You can click in here. You can look at all the nitty-gritty data. But really why we just did this is we want to now convert this into a PDF. So go ahead and click share or print PDF. My account is already set up. I uploaded my headshot, my contact information. Once you do this within the app, it will basically create this beautiful template for you. There's tons of different templates you can choose from. It's all the same thing. It's just the style of how you want to display the numbers and the information to your client. So just pick one that works for you. But once that's done, now all we do is we can quickly email it to our client. We can download it here to our computer or our phone. We can print it. We can share it on social media. We can save it. On the app, you can even text it. I text these out to a lot of my clients. And you're done. Here's your net sheet. Again, always remember it's an estimate, but I just like how this is broken down and it just explains the information in one page. So use this to calculate your net sheets for your sellers. If you have questions, reach out to me, Jerad Larkin with Chicago Title. Happy to help. Also happy to help run these for you if you do need some help. And if you need access to the app, just reach out to me, Jerad Larkin, Mile High Title Guy, info@milehighTitleGuy.com.